Learning to become a developer is tough, specifically a self-taught developer. There's no roadmap, no professor. It's just you, your laptop, and probably about 100 different open tabs. While anyone can learn to code, most self-taught developers get stuck making the same mistakes. Not because you're lazy or untalented or unskilled, but because you just don't know what you don't know. So in today's video, I kind of want to walk through 5 of the biggest mistakes self-taught developers make and kind of how to overcome those as you're on your journey learning to code, and some tactics that I picked up along the way that could be beneficial to you as well. The first mistake I want to refer to is affectionately known as tutorial hell. And you know the cycle. You watch a video, you copy some code, it works, you feel good about yourself, you pat yourself on the back, you show it off to friends, family, loved ones, anyone that'll watch it, and things are great. And there were some learnings in that process, but tutorials help you feel productive, but they actually give you the illusion that you're making progress when technically you probably aren't. In this process, you're learning with training wheels on, which is great when you're first starting out, but at some point, you've got to be willing and capable of taking those training wheels off. So, here's one tactic on how to escape tutorial hell, if you will. After every tutorial, build something slightly different, even if it's small. Change the color scheme, add a new feature, refactor the code, make it more modular. The more that you can do these things on your own without following someone else, the better off your development journey you will be. Because that moment that you start struggling without the tutorial, that's actually when you're really going to start learning and you're really going to be on that journey to becoming the developer that you ultimately dream to become. Mistake number two is skipping the fundamentals. When you're self-taught, it is very tempting to jump straight into a framework. React, Next.js, Node, whatever's hot on Twitter or whatever's going to get you to your end goal, it is very tempting to jump straight into that and skip over the fundamentals that actually help you be better at using that framework. Without core knowledge of HTML, CSS, JavaScript basics, data structures, and algorithms, those are the things that's going to help you become a better developer, and they translate and are tried and true regardless of the actual framework itself. Because if you haven't realized it or not, frameworks come and go. There's one hot framework today and it's not so hot tomorrow, but the fundamentals are going to basically last forever and they translate across any framework, if you will. So when something stops working, don't just Google it and figure out what the answer is. This is where your fundamentals have to come in to kind of take over so that you can dissect that issue and have a better understanding of what's going on. So as you're on your self-taught journey, don't waste your time jumping straight into a framework, excuse me. Spend that additional time learning the actual fundamentals itself. The next mistake I want to speak on your self-taught journey is not spending time reading other developers' code. You know, it's very easy to kind of get stuck in your own world as a developer, especially if you're at home, you're self-taught, you don't know anyone else in this space. So you build a project solo, understand your logic, that's great. But the moment you join a team or you contribute to an open source or you have someone that's asking you to pick up where someone else left off, you realize that every developer has their own style and your brain needs to kind of adapt to that fast. Reading other people's code is going to train you to see patterns, to recognize clean, if you will, architecture, and not spot what not to do, but just pick up on tactics and things that you can do to help you become a better developer, or realizing that, hey, separating this functionality from the actual core component itself is a better way to do it because this functionality can be reused and this component can just stay true to what it's actually designed to do. And believe it or not, you actually learn more by reading other people's repos, not just coding itself. Yes, coding is the ultimate, but spending time reading someone else's code repo and understanding how they got to the resolution they got to is a valuable skill that you may not pick up on or think to pick up on as a self-taught developer. But I'm here to tell you today that you do need to carve out some time in order to do so. Mistake number four is not spending the time to learn version control. Look, I know it can be intimidating. I know it's boring. But at the end of the day, learning it is going to be a game changer for you. and it will better prepare you to work in a large group or with other developers as your skill set grows and as you're ready to take that next step and become employable. You see, version control isn't just for teams, it's also your personal time machine, if you will. You commit your code often, write meaningful messages, push it to GitHub, even if no one's actually watching. This is developing the right habits and you're learning the right discipline that's actually practiced in the real world today. And as you are developing your code and you're trying out new things, you'll become to realize that, hey, you know what, maybe I need to just roll back this entire feature that I was trying to implement because it's not working out as intended. And if you have a good Git repo and you're practicing version control, you can roll it back without an issue and pick up right where you left off and start all over again. So don't be intimidated by it. Go ahead and carve out the time to actually learn version control. The final mistake that I want to bring to your attention on your self taught journey is making sure that you don't stay in a space where you're trying to learn on your own. I know when you're initially starting out and you have to study and you have to learn things, yes, you're going to be solo for the most part, but self taught doesn't mean you have to be solo forever. Coding is a team sport and it could be a fun team sport. Ask questions, join communities, pair with other programmers, share your progress online. You never know who's actually watching because every developer has Googled something, and every developer that has been coding for a while has coded with someone else. And the more that you can collaborate and work in a team environment, this is going to better prepare you for eventual employment if that's something that you want to do. But equally important, you're going to pick up so many little small tactics and cues and clues along the way. You'll be amazed at how energized you'll be as you're starting to work with someone else that's like-minded, thinks the same way you do, and can actually support each other on their journey to learn code. So carve out some time to spend some time with other developers. And if you don't have a small circle of developers that you can lean on, like I said, join a community, pair with other programmers, build online in public. You never know who's watching and who may be willing to support you in your journey, or maybe in the same place that you are and may be willing to join with you, and you can support each other as you're on your roadmap to becoming a better developer. So, regardless to what anyone may say online, any video title, any article, blog post title, you can absolutely teach yourself the code. And you can go from zero to full stack developer because I've done it myself. But you got to make sure that you avoid these traps along the way because they can keep you stuck and hold you back. Tutorial hell is going to weaken your fundamentals. Coding in isolation, skipping Git, and then working solo all the time is a way that you can hold yourself back because you're missing an additional learning resource that comes along in the developer journey. So start small, stay consistent, and just make sure that you are understanding what you're actually doing and not just copying and pasting just to get to that end result. So I hope you enjoyed today's video, and if you did, feel free to give me a like. Consider subscribing to the channel, and in the comment section, let me know some struggles that you had in your coding journey, whether you're self-taught or you took a more professional route with the boot camp or a schooling environment. And I'll see you in the next video.